व्यासं ततो जायम्बुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवयात् भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रे Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, verses 12 to 22, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. Text 12. While Setadruti was thus being married, the demons, the denizens of the Gandharva Loka, the great sages, and the denizens of Siddhaloka, the earthly planets and Nagaloka, although highly exalted, were all captivated by the tinkling of her ankle bells. Text 13. King Prachinabhadi begot 10 children in the womb of Setadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prachetas. Text 14. When all these Prachetas were ordered by their father to marry and beget children, they all entered the ocean and practiced austerities and penances for 10,000 years. Thus they worshipped the master of all the austerities, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 15. When all the sons of Prachinabhadi left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who, out of great mercy, instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachinabhadi meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. Text 16. Vidura asked Maitreya, "My dear Brahmana, why did the Prachetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became very pleased with them and how he instructed them. Certainly such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful upon me and describe them." Text 17. The great sage Vidura continued, "O best of the Brahmanas, it is very difficult for living entities encaged within this material body to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Even great sages who have no material attachment do not contact him, despite their always being absorbed in the meditation to attain his personal contact." Text 18. Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnu, he is self-sufficient, although he was nothing to aspire for in the material world. For the benefit of those in the material world, he is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies like the goddesses Kali and the goddesses Durga. Text 19. The great sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, because of their pious nature, all the sons of the Prachinabhadi very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul. And with these words on their heads, they went towards the west to execute their father's order." Text 20. While traveling, the Prachetas happened to see a great reservoir of water which seemed almost as big as the ocean. The water of this lake was so calm and quiet that it seems like a mind of great soul, and its inhabitants, the aquatics, appeared very peaceful and happy to be under the protection of such a watery reservoir. Text 21. In the great lake, there are different types of lotus flowers. Some of them were bluish, some of them were red. Some of them grew at night, some in the day, and some, like the Indivara lotus flower, in the evening. Combined together, the lotus flowers filled the lake so full that the lake appeared to be a great mine of such flowers. Consequently, on the shore, there were swans and cranes, chakravakas, karandavas, and other beautiful water birds standing about. Text 22. There were various trees and creepers on all sides of the lake, and there were mad bumblebees humming all about them. The trees appeared to be very jolly due to the sweet humming of the bumblebees and the saffron. which was which was contained in the lotus flowers, was being thrown into the air. These all created such an atmosphere that it appears as though as festival were taking place there. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Madhuri. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Swamini Gopi Mataji, for reading the translation today. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Kripamudirtamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are seeing this chapter where Maharaj Prithu's lineage, their children, their lineage is being described. So in the previous chapter, we have seen how Prithu Maharaj went back to Godhead after severe austerities that he performed in the forest. He attained the Dham where Supreme Lord resides. And now in this chapter, Maitreya Rishi is describing about the lineage of Prithu Maharaj. So yesterday we have seen how Prithu Maharaj had his eldest son Vijitswa. So he was crowned the kingdom. He became the king, and he took charge, and he gave directions to his younger brothers. And then, so from Vijitswa, there were several lineage from Vijitswa. He had a wife named Nabashwati, so from whom he had begotten another son named Havirdhana. So Havirdhana. So this king Havirdhana, Maharaj Havirdhana, is actually had another wife, Havirdhani, who actually gave a powerful son named Barhishat. So the Barhishat is the king Maharaj Barhishat is also known as Prachina Barhi. So Prachina Barhi. So now we are seeing from verse number 12, we are seeing the pastimes of the sons of Prachina Barhi. So Prachina Barhi married Satadruti, and then the features of Satadruti all mentioned in the verse number 12, which we are going to see today. So Maharaj Barhishat, also known as Prachina Barhi, he was ordered by Lord Brahmaji himself to marry the daughter of ocean named Satadruti. So she was, it's mentioned that she was so beautiful. Her bodily features were so beautiful that all of the Gandharva Loka, demigods, demons, even Siddhas, Charanas, Nagaloka, all of them were captivated, it seems, by her beauty. So starting from verse number 12, we'll just go through this verses 12 to 22 today. So here Prachina Barhi had in the womb of Satadruti, he begot 10 children. And so here it's mentioned that Dharmasnataha Prachetashaha. So Tulya Nama Vrata Sarve. So Tulya means equal. So just like his father, all of these children were equally endowed with religiosity, Dharmasnataha, and all of them are known as Prachetas. So here, so it is said that their they possessed all good qualities, and they were also perfect in execution of once their own vows to render devotional service. And they had perfect knowledge and perfect good behavior also. So Dashabhavan, like there are 10 children. And then these 10 children, and they were given instructions by Prachina Barhi. So the instructions were they were given Tapase Arnavam Avishan Dashavarsha. So when Prachitas were ordered by their father to marry and beget children, so Prachina Barhi is actually giving um, instructions for them to marry and then to beget children for the population, for expansion of population in the kingdom. So what actually they did, they actually entered the ocean and performed severe austerities. So how long did they perform was Darsha Varsha Sahasrani, like they were doing for 10,000 years. So, so here it said that tapaspatim. So what were they actually doing the severe austerities for? Whom they are trying to satisfy? It is said tapaspatim. So patim means husband, husband of austerity. So husband of austerity is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. So he is the all the austerities are offered to him. So Bhaktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So he is the recipient of all the austerities. So that's why it's mentioned Tapas Patim here. So here Prabhupada quotes many points. So generally, like when the sages perform austerities, they go to a secluded place in the banks of rivers or a lake, or here it is mentioned that they performed under the ocean, depths of the ocean. So it looks like these prachitas were mystic yogis. They were able to stay within the ocean and perform austerities. So similar to Lord Indra, Indra also one time he got affected by killing Vritrasura, and then he is to eradicate his sins. He had to go under the lake and then perform severe austerities. So here also the the Prachetas, they did severe austerities under the ocean and to please Lord Sri Krishna, the master of all austerities. So, so Prabhupada makes several points. We'll just go through here. In the Kali Yuga, what kind of austerities that we can perform? So these Prachetas were actually living in the Satya Yuga. So because they performed austerities for 10,000 years, in Satya Yuga, living entities used to live for 100,000 years. So they spent 10,000 years in performing these austerities. So Prabhupada makes several points in the Kali Yuga, what kind of austerities that we can perform. We can also get purification similar to what Prachetas were able to get, in the Satya Yuga. So he makes quotes a particular verse from 3rd Canto, 33rd chapter, 7th verse. Aho bata swapacho ato gariyan yat jiva agre vartate nama tubhyam tepas tapaste juhuva sasnur arya brahmanuchur nama grananti ye the. So in this verse, it says that even a person of family of Chandalas, so there are many categories of divisions of people even below the Sudras. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Below Shudras, there are Chandalas, Pulinda, Pukkasha, Yavana. So they are all lower than the Sudras, meaning they have very, a lot of attachments to material world in a very low grade. But even they, the lowest births of human society, even they are become so glorious if they chant the holy names of the Lord. For it is to be understood by such chanting, a devotee definitely proves that he underwent all kinds of austerities in his previous life. So Prabhupada, in other words, saying that the severe austerities that the Prachetas were doing under the ocean can be achieved by a person who is continuously chanting, because he has already performed all kinds of austerities in his previous life in order to come to this state of chanting the holy name constantly. So, by the grace of Lord Chaitanya, one who chants the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, attains the highest perfectional stage, which had been previously been attained by people who entered the ocean. So here Prachetas and executed austerities for 10,000 years. So Prabhupada is directly saying, in this age of Kali, if a person does not take advantage of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, which is offered as a great concession to the fallen human beings of this age, it is to be understood that he is very much bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord. So he's directly, so the giving this blessings of Hare Krishna mantra, how powerful it is, and it is equivalent to the austerities performed by Prachetas for 10,000 years. One who can chant this Hare Krishna mantra constantly in the age of Kali. So after that, when the Prachetas were on the way to perform these austerities, they met Lord Shiva. So on the way, they met Lord Shiva, and they got instructions from Lord Shiva about the absolute truth. So, and according to the instructions, Dhyayanto japantascha pujyantascha samyataha. So according to that instructions, they did chanting and worship with great control. So here it is mentioned that similar to other aspects of, like in the case of Dhruv Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj got instructions by Narada Muni. Like Narada Muni gave a specific mantra to chant, and he also said so and so, place he can perform these austerities. So, like that, Narada Muni instructed Dhruv Maharaj as a guru. Here also, Prachetas got instructed by Lord Shiva. So, Lord Shiva is actually their guru. He instructed about absolute truth, and they followed his instructions and they become perfect. So Prabhupada also makes this point that the sons of Prachina Barhi were fortunate that they got this the darshan of Lord Shiva. So generally people can't, even the Lord Shiva comes sometimes to this planet, people cannot take darshan. But here the Prachetas were able to see, and they could take instructions also from him. So, so in the verse number 16, now after hearing this, Vidura is asking Maitreya Rishi. So since Vidura was so inquisitive that about this meeting between Lord Shiva and Prachetas, so he was asking specifically, why did the Prachetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? So what happened? How did the meeting go? What were the talks between them? It must be very important. What was the talks? And he was requesting, Maitreya Rishi to be merciful and describe all of these details. So here again, the inquisitiveness of Vidura is very, very much, seen that whenever there is a spiritual discussion, he was, very inquisitive. So you can see there are many other topics also that comes in this about the marriages and the beautiful personalities. He doesn't ask details on those things, but he asks specifically on spiritual discussions and spiritual topics to elaborate further. So here the meeting between Lord Shiva and Prachetas what kind of instructions that they got from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is a very exalted personality, and he is the greatest Vaishnava Nam Yata Sambhu. So he's the greatest Vaishnava, and he has a lot of responsibilities that he takes from Supreme Lord in the universal affairs, especially in the devotional aspects. Like one particular lineage of devotion, the Rudra Sampradaya, is coming from Lord Shiva himself. So he has a lot of importance. The instructions given by Lord Shiva is a lot of importance in the path of bhakti. So that's why Vidura is very much inclined to hear those. So now the Vidura, after Vidura is saying, elaborating a little bit further on why he is requesting. So he's saying it's very difficult for living entities to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Durlabo monayo dadhyur asangatyam abhipshitam. So he's saying very difficult to very difficult to meet Lord Shiva for living entities. So that is a reason, and he is also saying even great sages who have no material attachments, even they do not actually meet Lord Shiva, despite their always observed in meditation to attain his personal contact. So in other words, he is saying Lord Shiva's instructions is very glorious. So please describe in detail what were the talks between them. So Prabhupada gives an elaborate purport about the glories of Lord Shiva and some of the aspects of his universal affairs. So in the age of Kali, Lord Shiva's representation, he incarnates as a Sripad Sankaracharya. So Sripad Sankaracharya specifically is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, and he has he has come to spread the philosophy of monism to dispel the Buddhism, which is actually against the Vedic conclusions. So it said there is a verse in Padma Purana, Mayavadam Asachastram Prachannam Bauddham Muchyate Maya Iva Vihitam Devi Kalo Brahmana Murtina. So this Kalo Brahmana Murtina, this is the Sripad Sankaracharya, who has come to spread this monism philosophy to destroy this Bauddham, so the Buddhist philosophy. So 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 basically this is one aspect of how but again we hear that the four Vaishnava philosophies are one of them, Rudra Sampradaya, is created from the Lord Shiva himself. So even Sripad Sankaracharya, at the end of his pastimes, before he left this planet, he was also propagating the bhakti philosophy, that he was personally ordering his disciples to take shelter of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So he was singing that song, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Modamate. So he was ordering to take shelter of Govinda. So Lord Shiva's his lineage is also um, mentioned as Rudra Sampradaya or Nimbarka Swami, Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. So it's also called Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, and now also called Vallabha in the current, it's also called Vallabha Sampradaya. So just like our Brahma Sampradaya is also called Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So similarly, Rudra Sampradaya is also Vishnu Swami Sampradaya or Vallabha Sampradaya. So Sankaracharya is specifically, mentioned in the last stage of his leaving. He mentioned the followers to worship Lord Sri Krishna. So in the Bhaja Govindam song also. And Lord Shiva, he is accompanied by Mother Durga Devi, Parvati, or Goddess Kali. So he takes basically he takes great great uh, great charge on this energy. Like Goddess Parvati or Durga Devi is the energy of this material world, and Lord Shiva takes charge of this energy. So and therefore he has a great responsibility in destroying the asuras, because Goddess Kali and Durga Devi, she has a ferocious energy that she destroys all the asuras. So therefore, Lord Shiva takes control on that aspect of the material world. So in the Brahma Samhita also it says, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Saktireva Sayeva Yasya Bhavanani Bibarti Durga Ichhanurupam Api Yasya Chestatesha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So here Durga Devi is worshipped. The Asuras are worshipping her by in material opulence. When the Asuras become too much intolerable, then Goddess Kali, they destroy the Asuras, it seems. So, so here Prabhupada says that Lord Shiva's duty is very dangerous because he has to employ the energy of Goddess Kali or Durga. So basically, Lord Shiva's mood is to always glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, engage in his bhakti process. So Vaishnavanam Yata Sambhu. But then he has to in the material world, he performs certain aspects of the material energy in order to take the living entities who are asuras towards the direction of bhakti. So that's why Prabhupada says it's Lord Shiva's duty is very dangerous. In contrast, Prabhupada also quotes that Lord Shiva bestows anyone who worships Lord Shiva, he bestows a lot of opulence. But on the other side, Lord Vishnu, anyone who is worshipping Lord Vishnu, he takes away all the material possessions so that the devotee is more and more dependent on Lord Vishnu and finally becomes an unalloyed devotee. So in Bhagavad Gita, like he quotes the verse, Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayantite. So the goal is yena mam upayantite. So Krishna guides step by step so that the devotee reaches him. So that is the specific aspect of worshipping Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu directs the devotee towards the path of back to Godhead, back to home, without any kind of a material, attachments. The devotee was able to come out of all these attachments. So and then verse number 19, Maitreya Uvacha. So now Maitreya Rishi is starting to recite what happened, what were the discussions between the Prachetas and Lord Shiva. So now Maitreya Rishi is saying, all the sons of Prachina Barhi accepted the words of their father with heart and soul, and then they started towards the west to execute their father's order. So now he's starting to recite how they, which way they went, how did they meet Lord Shiva, and all that he's starting to recite now. So here the word sadavaha, so Prabhupada is elaborating on this word. Sirashadya Shadavaha. So Sirashadya means with their head bowing. They took all their words on their head, the instructions on their head. That means they give so much importance to the instructions of their father. and all the 10 sons, the Prachetas, they went towards the west to execute their father's order. So similarly, Prabhupada says it is the duty of the father, the spiritual master, and the king to regulate their subordinates in such a way they ultimately become fully unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord. So here, Prachetas took their father's order on their head. Means similarly, a disciple also supposed to take the spiritual master's order with all due respect and care. So, and then the verse number 20 to 22. So while traveling, the Prachetas saw a great reservoir of water. So it's a beautiful lake. This description of the lake was very, very much appropriate for a transcendental place. So Mahan Mana Eva Swacham. So it is said this water is very clear, and this great soul, and it is very, very calm and quiet. And the aquatics are also the living entities who are living within the water also very peaceful and happy. So it's like specific significance of these points were actually, Prabhupada elaborates that if it would have been an ocean, there would have been waves, but here it's like very quiet and calm. The waters, there is no waves, so it must be a lake. And then he's also saying that these waters, um, we're so calm and quiet, just like the mind of a great soul. So like jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. So therefore, it must be like a great devotees must be residing here. So that's what Prabhupada quotes in this verse. And then the other aspects of this lake, verse number 21 and 22. The other aspects of lake, like the color of this lotus flowers were bluish. It's very interesting color. We normally don't see a lotus flower with the bluish color. And some of them were mentioned as red also. And some of them grew at night, and some of them were blooming in the daytime, like the Indivara lotus flower. So specific significance. The other aspects were given, like Chakravakas, Karandavas, and beautiful birds were also present on this lake. So swans, like Prabhupada makes the point about this unique quality of swans. We probably heard many times that the swans were always reside on a beautiful location, as opposed to the crows. The crows flock on a filthy location. The swans, the qualities of these birds are unique. They are just like Paramahamsas. They are attracted to the beautiful location where there are very clean atmosphere, transcendental atmosphere. So in the last verse for today, verse number 22. So here again, there are again, another beautiful aspects of this lake were mentioned. There were various trees and creepers, and there were mad bumblebees humming all about them. So that they were the atmosphere was so jolly. They so Padma Kosha Raja Dikshu. So it was lotus flowers all around the place. The bumblebees were taking pleasure in taking the nectar from the lotus flowers. And basically the whole atmosphere were very transcendental. So that was the description here. This was the last verse for today. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Krishna.